What's good? What's good? We back with another Listen to DP episode. I got my boy Devin, Justin, and Will. We got a good one for y'all. We talking about the 2024 Hall of Fame inductees as well as the finalists, right? So our guys that got inducted, Julius Peppers, Dwight Freeney, Patrick Willis, Devin Hester, and Andre Johnson. Oh, yeah, you already, man, hold up. Man, y'all lucky I can't find it around here. You know, it's all about the youth for me. I got one of my hurricane lanes. I got the hats.
Yeah.
But
playing that Uncle Luke.
Another one.
Julius Peppers, literally just a freak. Dude played basketball at UNC, football. Like when you hooping at UNC, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
That tells you what type of athlete you are. Dwight Freeney, small in stature.
Spin move.
That spin move, Tasmanian devil type spin. Patrick Willis, that dude could have played longer than what he got in and cut his career probably 5 years short.
Wait, 9 seasons was it?
Yeah, and he was still, bro. I played with the 49ers on Madden for two reasons. They're linebackers, and then that's when they had Kaepernick. So I run around with Kaepernick because he's fast. But Navarro Bowman, literally, Patrick Willis, they were like 93 and 95 speed at linebacker on Madden. So I didn't have to sub my guys out. Those dudes were beasts. So Patrick Willis, he kind of like the name Gale Sayers for me. Like fastest. He's probably like one of those linebackers. Most linebackers might play there, but they kind of max themselves out.
Yeah.
Gale had the injury. This dude literally took himself out in his prime.
Yeah.
He like the Gale Sayers of running backs. Linebackers. Linebacker. It was like, no, I could have put 5 more Pro Bowl years together, but I didn't need it. I wanted to get out. Kuechly's going to be another guy that
that's the Luke Kuechly thing.
Took himself out in his prime. That should be up there as well. Devin Hester, I believe this is his second time, right?
I think it's second or third.
Yeah,
it's 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It should have been 1.
Woo!
And the reason why I say
the best return man ever.
The reason why I say it should be 1, think about this. Regardless of if it was at special teams, if I am the clear front runner, greatest of all time,
I'm the best.
Even I put it this way: if let's say Buckner or Justin Tucker, we'll take him.
They ain't gonna make him wait. That's the point right there.
Even regardless, I'm going to go down as if he stays at this, because unless you got Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, because we talk about the greatest to do it, you can't be the greatest at something and somebody else. Let's say Torrey Holt. You're now on time 10, and I came in the league as a kicker. I did my job at the highest level, more than anybody else. You were the 157th ranked, let's say, wide receiver. I'm the greatest kicker ever. I gotta get in on my first time. So it's not even really player to. I think it comes more to player when that said player is not the greatest to do
at
what
that
they
position.
did. Right. I think that's got to be a criteria. Let's say Hester was like the 5th best returner, and now we're talking about Hester and Torrey Holt. But when I'm the greatest by far, and everybody deems me that, what else can I do to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. And this is one, like, and I don't get me wrong, it's no disrespect towards Devin Hester at all. Like, it's no hands down the greatest returner to punt, kick, whatever, to touch the ball, right? He touched the ball, it could be curtains, like we know, return, kickoff back in the Super Bowl, everything, right? But when I look at it, when you're not an every down guy, that's my only knock, right? And it's not saying that he shouldn't get in. I think he should get in. When I look at a guy like Torrey Holt, when I look at a guy like Fred Taylor, guys who haven't got in, and I feel like, okay, we're giving this spot to a guy who is not an every down guy, it gives me cause to pause, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. He is the best returner ever. And you have to mention, when you think about football, when you think about special teams, and you think about somebody returning, you got to put Devin Hester's name in there. He's the best at it.
And the criteria is, can the game be told without you? I can make a very good case of, I can tell a lot of stories without mentioning, I want Fred to get in.
Yeah.
He's literally so if you go from the top, I think at that point it was the top 17 rushers in the NFL history.
Yeah.
Everybody before him is in the Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame, except him.
But I can tell a lot of stories without Fred Taylor. I can tell a lot of stories without Torrey Holt.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the return game, not one story can be told without Devin
Devin
Hester
Hester.
and what
Yup.
he did. So that's why I said, because if we don't do it by what you did at your position, then we start saying, well, more quarterbacks should get it. Because if I'm the best
they
defensive
gonna start
end
putting the
and
average
another
above
good
average
quarterback who's been missing it, he should get in because the quarterback's more important. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
And I think what gives Hester is he did show he could play corner, and he did show he could play wide receiver. And he had some good years there. So he also wasn't just a guy only returning.
Yeah.
True.
For that, and then the last one, Andre Johnson, that dude, I don't even know, was this, I don't know what year this was for Andre. But that guy is one of those guys that when you really look at his body of work with the with the quarterbacks he did it with, 14,000 yards, 70 touchdowns, over 1,000 catches, and he had us four throwing him the ball throughout his season.
Matt
with
Shaw.
another 10 of
What
us.
was E with Matt
So
Shaw?
Nah, he didn't have me. I was better than some of them guys.
If you give him quarterbacks because I love T.O. He's a top 3 guy in mine, no further than 5. But if you give him a T.O. type of situation with a Romo, even Garcia was way better than what my man had here, Steve Young. If you give him a Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper throughout the career, got to go with Brady some. If you give that man, who's another good guy I want to talk about? That's a big. Give him Matt Ryan, because I'm trying to go with big receivers. Give him Matt Ryan, Julio. Bro, this man would have went down as the GOAT. He literally was unstoppable with Matt Schwab.
Yeah.
Not Derek Carr.
And we saying his name wrong, but he's so bad we don't care.
I don't care.
It's like
Hey, the respect don't need to be there, bro.
How y'all feel about this?
We don't give a damn.
How y'all feel about this class? You can start us off, Will. How you feel about the class, Will?
Oh man, I love it. It's a really good class, man.
It is
a great class.
It's one of those where it's every year there's some people you wish would get in, but I don't see anybody that I would take out.
Yes, exactly.
That's the real hang up here. And it's like, man, like you said, with Fred Taylor, Torrey Holt, we were talking about it before we got on, man. I love Torrey Holt, man. Greatest show on turf. You know what I mean? I remember when Marshall Faulk was on the cover of Madden, man. Like I liked Holt more than I liked Bruce. I don't know what it was. It was like the play style difference, maybe. But that was my favorite receiver on that team. But it's like you said, man, Hester's number 1.
Yeah.
And number 1 has got to mean something in any sport. You know what I mean? So it goes back to the kicker thing. Like, kickers will never be every down guys. Everybody tells them they have one job to do it. But doing that job is hard as hell, especially in the tough situations.
Yep.
So when you talk about a kicker who has kicked some of the longest kicks ever and consistently made clutch kicks, then in the playoffs, they made some amazing kicks. You can't deny them because they're kickers. If Justin Tucker goes more than his first year of eligibility, the league is broken. And I think that's what DP is saying. The fact that Hester had to wait at all is a crime. That's a crime because you're talking about the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
Not like top 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were like, man, during your time, man, you were like one of the best kickers, you're going to probably have to wait, dog.
Yeah.
You'll probably have to wait. But if you hold all the records, he was breaking his own records. Remember at one point they showed Justin Tucker, they were like, Justin Tucker had like 6 of the 7 longest kicks. He broke his own. He was like 61 and like 62. You're like, God damn. This dude is incredible. So when his time comes, I hope nobody is like, well, we got this guy who's like the 18th best wide receiver.
Yeah.
Ever. And it's like, which don't get me wrong, there's only so many spots at wide receiver. That's a hell of a feat to you. But I don't care what you do. But you cannot deny Justin. That's how I felt about Devin. Every year that he hasn't been in, it reminded me of the T.O. thing, except for he ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody off, man. What are we doing this to him for?
They still the T.O.
didn't give a
criminal.
damn.
Hey, now
that was the first crime.
I want to get off topic.
Yeah.
I don't think AB gets into the Hall of Fame.
Let Justin go. Let Justin go.
That's a tough.
I don't want to get in, but if they did T.O. like that for just doing sit-ups, I think they're going to do AB bad, bro.
Let's get Justin. Get Justin, and let's talk about that. That is perfectly on topic, sir. That is perfectly on topic. We talking snubs right after Justin. Let's go, Justin.
Go ahead, my man.
All right, so I mean, for for what I'm thinking with Hester, shit, hey, he gets in 100%. Hey, he deserved it. He's the best kick returner, best returner ever. He literally changed the damn game at returning. He had kickers not even wanting to kick him the damn ball. They rather kick the ball out the end zone. They rather kick with a little squib or onside. They did not want to get this man the ball.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, they actually had special team coordinators trying to find more athletic people to be on kickoff, on punt return to
change
stop
the
this
game.
guy.
Slow
And then
linebackers
you got to
take
think
it over.
about all the DBs he done burnt on flies, on posts, and then played DB himself.
Yeah.
So you actually have to get, this man deserves all the respect. He did not, nobody got snubbed because of him.
Yeah.
And he deserves it. Now, as far as
And return the opening Super Bowl kickoff.
facts, yup.
That moment is legendary.
It is.
That's
And
legendary.
let's talk about all the kickoffs and punts he returned while getting few chances to return them.
Yeah.
That's like Barry
see?
Bonds when he hit the home runs. Y'all
Yep.
walk me 3 times, I get one at bat and I
It
can
was-
see the home run.
It was by accident. Like they accidentally didn't kick it all the
They
way out
kicked
of
the ball
bounds.
out of bounds 5 times. He probably got less than a third of the return attempts than
Yeah.
a guy that's back there as long as he's been.
True.
Yeah, facts. But on the AB tip, if we talking about it, if they did T.O. like that, and T.O. all thing T.O. really did was talk. AB, we talking about homie that quit in the middle of a game. Throwing his clothes on, his uniform on, it's like, bam. Even though, whole career legend.
And then what he's
Wow.
doing on Twitter every day now,
Fact,
like
bro.
I said, I don't think they're gonna let him in. And to be honest, when you
Damn.
look at it, he played a couple of less games, like 25-ish than Holt, but he has less catches right now than, or maybe 8 more catches. I think Holt was at 920, but only 8 more catches. He has less yards than Holt, and then he has
Oh no, he ain't getting in there. That's
9 more TDs. So it's not like he's
That's
way up
curtains.
there with. If
Yeah.
Holt ain't in, it ain't did nothing. And what AB's on pace
Hey.
to do off the field,
That's curtains.
So
And
here's
he's
the thing.
on pace to do because
As
he's
a-
not to do more.
As a player, it's not even close. Like as
It's
a
not.
player, if we just strip it down, just
it's
strictly
not.
as a player, AB is easily like one
One
of
of
the
the
top
best ever
5 receivers ever to play the game.
He's one of the
His
best
stretch.
to do it.
But up here, I think he threw it all
He's
away.
top 5 to ever.
Yeah. Now I will say this:
Top 5 mistakes of all time.
we know that America, period, loves a redemption story. They love a forgiveness type situation. If
Not
he
when it
comes
comes to
back,
Hey, right.
Not
Hey,
for
now
no,
they do.
not for
Hey.
somebody that created
Michael
the
Vick's
Tracker
time
Sports
was served
Network.
decades
Hey.
ago. He's still
He created
apologizing.
the Tracker Sports
Yeah.
Network, bro.
Ray Lewis
Hey.
was acquitted. They treat him worse than
Hey.
Roethlisberger. They don't talk about Roethlisberger.
hey,
Y'all forgot
facts.
Roethlisberger did what he did. Or
Oh,
did
yeah.
what he
A
did
couple-
do, right?
couple assaults, sexual assaults, all that. If you get about
They
Roethlisberger, you're
settled.
right.
They settled. They don't count no
Yeah,
more.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's off the books.
But to your credit, AB went 1,500, 1,700, 1,830,
Yeah,
basically 1,300,
Incredible.
1,500, 1,300.
yeah.
Bro, he should have been first ballot.
Oh yeah.
Facts.
Easily.
I don't think he gets in
Easily.
because of one where he stopped that on his stats because he played
He
3
ruined
more
his own
years. He would have been
trajectory,
way
man.
over Andre and all them boys.
Yeah.
Like, stats, catches, yards. It wasn't even close.
Mm-mm.
I will say, maybe other than Jerry, and I got to look at maybe Randy. You got Andre who had some years. I don't even think T.O.'s for, but that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 year
The
stretch
period. Yeah.
might be the best stretch for any
Ever.
wide receiver
Yeah.
for 6 years.
Mhm.
And then to look at how he did it, being a small guy, like it.
Yeah,
I mean,
wasn't a freak of nature physical.
no,
Yeah, small.
just strictly working
5'10".
hard. Like when you watched him work
Amazing
out, like
route
you
run.
watched him, the things that he was doing in workouts, then you watch him run routes. It was a thing of beauty. Like it really was, man. But just with a head
you
case.
could see everything happening for the decline, like the mental decline and bad
Yep.
mistakes
Yeah.
after that Burfict hit.
Yeah.
Remember,
I was about to bring up Vontae.
That's
Boy,
one of the most
know,
violent hits in the history of NFL. So I mean, he took that. So I mean,
he took a Hall of Famer from us in that hit.
Hey, and what me tell you the craziest thing is, if you go watch the Steelers offense, they had one of those basic offenses. They line up and ran routes.
Mhm.
They wasn't doing a lot of tricking you.
No.
They're known to run the ball. They come from receivers that block, and you run your routes and get open.
Yep.
He turned them into a show of like, hey, we're going to iterate this.
Yep.
Man, I know my boy Chris, he wouldn't be salty, but he wouldn't like me telling it because it ain't nothing crazy. We all watched it. So this is when my boy Chris Harris Jr. was at the height of his career. Strap. This is before they might not even be calling him Strap Harris at the time, but this was no fly zone. The biggest matchup, the Steelers was dogs, the Broncos was dogs, and I literally remember, I'm literally posting Chris every week. You know how I do with my first day rolling, I'm posting them.
AB gave him some of that work,
for that Sunday night game. And AB, they threw that man the ball 16 times. That boy had 15 catches, 3 touchdowns, and like 250 yards. Hey, I kid you not. I left in the middle of the game because I was getting so many text messages. What's going on with your boy? What's going on with your boy? I went to Sunnyvale High School and started hooping during the game, bro. I was like, bro, like, because Chris is my guy. That's like my brother. Yeah. It felt like me watching a boxer, bro, and he in there. I'm just like, bro.
You felt like you knew Errol personally, didn't you?
Hey, AB said he took the strap off. He took the strap off. It went to work.
Never seen nothing like it. And my boy, one of the best I've ever seen play man-to-man defense. Technically sound. Went 2.5
Not a scrub at all, bro. Cold.
Yeah.
Went 2.5 years in man coverage in Denver without giving up a TD. When
him and the Keith to lead.
I was like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, they still had to keep the lead.
Boys was messaging me about that.
Yeah. Nah, it was masterful, bro. Like, I truly feel like at the end of the day, he threw his whole legacy away, you know, and I feel like it's easy to be like, you know, you question so much like what really happened. Like, you know, them Florida boys be crazy anyway, but like that right there was just something that I had never seen before. You just mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, and it's like
and doubling down on them.
Yeah. Zero remorse.
Still doing it.
Zero regrets.
Nothing.
I know he ain't getting in because he was talking about Tom Brady's wife.
Yeah.
Fooling it.
You probably should have started with that because that cuts it right there.
Right there.
If he had the yards, if he had T.O.'s numbers, they would never let him go.
Nah, man. And
what about who do y'all think? I know we talked about some of the guys. Torrey Holt. You know, Fred Taylor got left off. Reggie Wayne got left off. Darren Woodson got left out. Rodney Harrison. Antonio Gates needs to be in there soon.
Yeah.
He got the most touchdowns ever. He got left off this year. He has the most touchdowns.
Antonio Gates, hold on. He was up for it this year?
Yeah, he was a
finalist. That's huge snub. He got it. That's huge.
Yeah. Because
who would you replace him with, though?
For that generation.
Who you replace him with?
Gates.
Whew. I can't take anybody out of that because those defensive guys.
Because you only get 5. You get 5 and then 2.
Yeah, you can't take anybody out of there. Because I mean,
who do you? So here's the other question: do y'all ever feel like we need to add one more spot? I know we don't want it to be the NBA where everybody gets in.
Yeah,
but we're talking about guys that are legends not getting in. We ain't talking about the people where it's like, who is that again? Like, no, we're talking about people like you be trying to explain to your kids how great they were and all. They gotta be like, well, why ain't they in the Hall of Fame then? That's a damn good question, son.
I would say they should add like 1 or 2 more spots. Because, you know, the NBA, I mean, the NFL has a lot more players who ever played in the league than the NBA.
It's 53-man rosters.
True.
22 spots on both sides.
Both sides.
11 here, 11 here in special teams. You're talking about way more spots than like five-man basketball.
And they take, what, 15 to 17 on the NBA squad?
Mm-hmm. I think that if you do that, and me and Will talked about this before off camera, if you do that, you always gonna have somebody who has a gripe. You know, even if you give a spot, somebody's still gonna get left off, right? I think that this also is what makes the NFL Hall of Fame so great because it's only that amount of spots. It's hard to get in. Like the Baseball Hall of Fame is also hard to get in. I do like that, but when you're right. When you hear about certain guys that's like top 3 in their position ever getting left off and not being first ballot, that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. Because Gates definitely should get in.
There's no
Let me
way
tell
Antonio
y'all
Gates should be in there.
some names right now who's eligible in 2025. I won't name all of them. I'll name more of the bigger name guys. You got Luke Kuechly
getting in.
He gonna get in.
Earl Thomas won't.
No, Earl's got to get in.
No, he won't. Not in this little episode.
On the Futures Football, they got legend scores. Earl Thomas is the 3rd highest rated guy. Luke Kuechly got a 50. The next Marshall Yonder got a 45.
And
Earl
O-line.
Thomas got a 40. Then you got Adam Vinatieri, who drops all the way down to 33. You got Marshawn Lynch, Eli Manning, Darren Sproles, Clay Matthews, Travis Frederick, Terrell Suggs, Akeem Talib, Demaryius Thomas, Kyle Long, Vernon Davis. And that's about there's some more names, but that's about even Vernon's.
Vernon Davis ain't getting in like that.
But those are names that we know, but those are eligible guys coming up this year.
Yeah, Eli gonna get in.
Who y'all got is so Luke is getting in.
Yeah.
Does that bother y'all at all that we're so sure about that with that list? That Luke is getting in?
Oh no,
for sure.
No, Luke.
He was a dog.
Where does he fit all time in all the stats? Where does he fit all time in tackles? Where does he fit all time in all that stuff?
Wasn't he like back-to-back defensive player or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
We would have to look
he
at
went like 8 straight years or like every year, like over 100 tackles. Like if I go back and look at his stats, I remember when he was playing. Like
he was having like the most tackles.
He's on a 2010s All-Decade team.
Yeah.
But when you go down that list, though, do you ever consider like the length of career and stuff?
So put it this way, this is his
that's
career.
what we mean. Why we got to ask the spot.
Yeah,
he had guys who
defensive
should be
player of the
first
year
ballot for sure.
And then he went. These are all consecutive years. First team All-Pro, first team All-Pro, first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro, first team All-Pro, first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro.
Yeah, he getting in.
Yeah, Luke, I do remember 7 Pro. So he only played 7 years. 7 Pro Bowls, 7 All-Pros, 7 top 100s, defensive player of the year, and he retired on his own. I ain't trying to get banged up no more.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Well,
Patrick Willis get in, Luke got to get in too.
But with that being said,
7? It was just 7? Just 7.
That's what I'm saying. 7 years. With that being said, and no Super Bowl being involved, we just got through talking about Antonio Brown, greatest 6-year span ever.
Yeah. But
so
here's this for a different reason.
When you look at that and you're like, you're talking about like Travis Fredericks. I know he was a Cowboy longer than 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he was the best center ever for 7 years. I don't care what the stats say or how many pancakes he's got. He was the best center in all of football for about more than 7 years. So what if he don't get in? And then you named a bunch of people that to be honest, I think have more of a case than Kuechly. I feel like Kuechly's popularity was through the roof.
It was.
And
I would say this. Like the reason why I say Kuechly,
he's one of those hopes where they made like he was like the guy. Like you have to talk about this guy whether they win or not. Whereas
I will say the reason
they treat him like
I think Kuechly gets in is because when I played all 7 of my years, I was considered the best or top 3.
Top 3, yeah,
because
at my position.
Some guys get them longevity Hall of Fames.
Yeah.
Like you would never like to think about it. The thing that gets Fred is he played long enough to get the yards, but when he played, he only had like
he
one
wasn't
or 2
the
Pro
top
Bowls.
back.
He was never so. The stats say one thing, but when you talk about the guys that played during his time, he wasn't ever number 1 or number 2 or probably number 3. That was Emmett Bear. Think about it.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? If we go look it up, that's what kind of gets you. Because think about it. You can never be that guy if we're not talking about all pros. We're talking about Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
So if you don't got but 1 All-Pro and 2 Pro Bowls, you can never be in a top 2 guy because there's 6 spots that's going out.
Yeah. And looking at the names,
top 2 or 3 on your division side of an AFC, NFC. Luke was always that guy while he played. So are we talking about how long you played, or was you the best when you played?
And
well, it has to be a combination of the both. But when we talk about the NFL Hall of Fame, because of how hard it is to get in, a lot of guys had to wait, like the Terrell Davises of the world, who were amazing when they played, but they had short careers. Unless you were like and then you have to talk about position. I think wide receivers catch a lot of BS because they act like if you weren't Randy Moss or you're not top 2 all time in the stats for the whole career, then you can go ahead and be overlooked. And that's what we're talking about with the Torrey Holt thing. Because AB, I don't give a damn what he did. We just got this. He really is one of the best to ever.
Oh yeah, to ever touch a football.
T.O. was only compared
we ain't picking, so
and they made T.O. wait all because he said that's my quarterback. Like, he
and that's my thing. If the same reason AB's not getting in is the same reason Luke is going to get in. You think they ain't letting Luke get?
No. I know he's getting in. I'm just saying.
Also with like defense.
Yeah, I guess what I'm talking about is like when we talk about the difficulty of getting in, whether we should add more spots. If we're not going to add more spots, does it trouble you that we are guaranteeing certain guys get in based on how liked they are? When as 4 black men, we know good and damn well we're judged differently for each and every single thing that we do.
Mm-hmm. That's
if Antonio Gates, first of all he should have got in, but if Antonio Gates acted the way Gronk did after he went, some of the stuff that Gronk did, he would have been talked about different.
Yeah.
If he did what Kelsey did to Andy Reid, they'd be treating him like T.O.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about he was a thug, and they would have thrown, and especially the time period he played in. It was before the 2010s riots and all this. This is back in the day. They would have shamelessly, as a league, NFL would have shamelessly called him a thug on every platform for touching his coach like that.
Yeah.
And then they would have used it as proof that he should not be honored, even though he was one of the best tight ends ever.
Yeah.
But then you're like, well, this guy who, and like, do you know of any, and that's actually an interesting question. Do you know of any great white players in this league right now that have been attacked character-wise for what they do off the field?
That's not what we do. Travis Kelce is not wrong.
Hey, look, I'll do it. I'll name names. Nick Bosa is openly racist. Nick Bosa is
I remember something on Twitter.
As a family, on video, this isn't me conjecture.
Yeah.
They're card-carrying racists.
Yeah.
As far as being, what do you call it, the alt-right and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're open card carriers.
It is. It's public knowledge. It's public knowledge.
They don't
and
care.
They won't bring it up because they don't want to bring it up because they want their image clean. But us, man, we talking about which of the black players farted after the Super Bowl, and they could be shooting at the gun range. Why does he have
like
a
I said,
gun?
I'm gonna keep it real, but I like to also go with stats. Patrick Willis just got in, right?
Yeah.
Kuechly
got big
more
numbers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Kuechly played 7 years. Patrick Willis had 950 tackles. Luke Kuechly had
at least 1,000.
1,092.
Yeah.
I knew that'd be at least 1,000.
Luke Kuechly had 12.5 sacks. Patrick had 20.5.
Yeah, he was getting to the QB.
A big number though.
Yeah. Luke gets them picks though.
Luke
I like
Kuechly had 18 interceptions.
There he is.
To Patrick Willis is 8.
Yeah.
And he's brought some of them to the house, didn't he?
Forced fumbles.
Yeah.
So like I said, I did this all in a year less of playing. And you was on that 49er stack defense where you got to move around. Luke Kuechly was the guy making the Panthers.
Yeah, he was.
So I try to be in all fairness. Like I said, I remember randomly looking at his stats, being like, think about it.
Nasty.
If Patrick played 8 years and had 900 and something, that's over 100 a year.
Yeah.
Luke played 7 and had literally 1,100.
He was on that defense back then. He did every one of them damn tackles.
They did. Yeah, they did.
But no, man. What about Marshawn Lynch? A lot of people like Marshawn. Do y'all think?
I wouldn't say first.
They have a Super Bowl.
Next year.
He's one of the best of all time.
But see, this is the thing where we're getting, because we're looking at that 25 list, right? Because we still got to go back to the Freds and the Tories. So
exactly.
I don't think Marshawn Lynch will be
what
there.
I'm saying.
I can see Marshawn Lynch getting in about 2026, 2027. I mean, even though Lynch was the dog, but yeah, like you saying, the people, you got to think about the people who came before him. And then you said Eli Manning and Luke Kuechly already on that damn list.
Eli's getting in. I don't think Eli's getting in. I don't think Eli's getting in.
Want me to tell you why I think he's getting in?
I don't think
his name is Manning, first of all.
Is because they have been so much press with the Mannings in the NFL. Like, I tell people this, I was never an Eli fan. I'm not the biggest, but I do enjoy seeing that he actually is a human being.
He's a human being, yeah.
He's hilarious.
The NFL is pushing him.
I love Eli. He's hilarious.
Peyton, I
With that
don't
show.
think that he doesn't get in. Like because he's like that new poster child of retired people. Him and Peyton, they do everything for the NFL.
But see, that same argument is why I think Beast Mode will get in before Fred too, because even though Beast Mode is known as this hood guy, he keeps it. He's himself, right? And he's marketable as well. He's marketable as well. And so because he's so marketable now, I think it'll be easier for them to massage that and get him in. You see what I'm saying? Eli, if we look at it, you're right. He's a Brady killer. He played amazing he played great Super Bowl games against Brady, and he has those 2 rings. But we can kind of say, because we watch the Cowboys, right? So we know the NFC East division. Eli Manning was really, like
he wasn't
he's okay.
Tony Romo.
He led the league in picks all the time. He was so up and down.
He was so up and down. So I mean, I feel like, does he deserve to get in? In my opinion, if you had to hold my feet to the fire, no, he doesn't deserve to get in. He's a Hall of Very Good. He's not the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I can see what y'all saying. Yeah.
That's all.
He getting in off his name alone.
Yeah.
So, and then the Super Bowl wins. I mean, you can't discount the 2 Super Bowls. Whether you had 200 picks in your whole career or 2, if you got 2 of them bowls,
definitely 200
quarterbacks got that, especially in the Hall of Fame. So you got to think about that. That I mean, hey, that propels them right there. And then also with the Hall of Fame voting, it's like any other voting, any other like award show or anything. It's gonna be biased.
Yeah.
So people are gonna hey, I like that guy. He was real. He's cool. So people are gonna pick off who they actually like as well. So it's not really like just going off like who should get in. It's the people who they're gonna like, because I mean there's humans who are picking. So it's gonna be biased.
I will say this. I like to say, because when it comes to Hall of Fame, like a lot of the stats matter, right? Fred had 11,700 yards, basically averaged 4.6 yards a carry, 66 TDs. Marshawn Lynch had 10,400, 4.2 yards a carry, 85 TDs. So Fred's stats.
But see, what we saying, Beast Mode is automatic, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's
so like I said, so that's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't think he gets in next year, because it's not head and shoulders far enough when I can put, a guy's stats. And Fred, mind you, Beast Mode had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 yard seasons. Fred 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with 2 years, 3 years getting hurt in his prime.
Yep.
I think when you just look at it, Fred was an all-around better. Like, he was more athletic. It was the number 9 pick for a reason. He just was, he had some unfortunate injuries. Beast Mode, I think what kind of gets him and what will get him is his stretch was in that pocket.
And they want a bowl.
Went to a Jacksonville team that was bad, and then they started rocking and rolling. And he did it with all his years was with Jacksonville.
Yeah.
After he left Jacksonville, he did nothing with the Patriots.
Yeah, with the Patriots.
So Fred was actually a guy that came in, and then they started building around what they got going. But from day one, when Fred touched that rock as a rookie, first one was like 85.
Yeah.
So I would say it's a slap in the face to a guy like Fred if Beast Mode was to get in next year. Because you can't really bro, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
I was good. I was better than you, I feel, in my offense. You ran in a way that's more rememberable.
Yeah.
But y'all won that off of that defense.
Yeah.
You put Fred on that same team, they go crazy. He might not be the heartbeat because of Beast Mode, but Fred being that athletic.
Now Marshawn Lynch made that sucker go though.
He did.
No, he made.
They were
built. Don't get me wrong. The defense, Legion of Boom was the superstar because they had them 3 monsters over there. But Marshawn Lynch, and we kind of seeing with Russ now, that run game that he brought to the table,
everything
made
up.
that defense possible because you couldn't really get out front. They can control the game so easily when you got Beast Mode back there. And the only reason they don't have an extra ring is because why? Didn't give it to that guy.
They didn't give it to Beast Mode. He should have 2 Super Bowls.
Facts.
Or you'd have 2.
Now you mentioned Earl Thomas too. Does Earl get in before Darren Woodson? Right? Like, especially with the stuff that's going on now with Earl. Like, Earl kind of snapped out these last couple years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, does Earl get in before Darren Woodson? Does he get in
Man,
before Rodney Harrison?
Can you
How does
tell?
he get in before Rodney Harrison?
But that's why. Do we need to ask more spots, man? That's what I'm saying. It ain't about,
Yeah,
like,
there needs to be
diluting the
more
hall.
spots
But
for sure.
it wouldn't dilute the hall. What's diluting the hall right now is that we have these guys that all belong in, and instead of us putting the guys in that deserve it, we're putting in guys that we feel like or nicer guys. You know what I'm saying?
It's more
Nicer people
being
off the
biased.
field.
Yeah.
And then it's not the hall of niceness. It's just not okay.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got us putting people in or kicking people out who deserve to be in for them.
Well, that's why
And
you
it
should
backs
have
it
the
up.
media
There's like
vote.
a,
It
there's a
should be a
traffic
group
jam
of
in the Hall of
specific
Fame
players
right
and coaches.
It should be players and coaches. Players and coaches should vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's what it should be, man.
Yeah.
But we can go in for a long time. I will say this to end it. Rodney Harrison had 2 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros, 2 Super Bowls, so that was probably in those years. Earl Thomas, 7-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowl, 3 All-Pros, a 1-time Super Bowl champ. He had 30 picks. Rodney Harrison had 34, which is surprising because we think about Earl being all over the place.
They're hidden.
And they both bringing that wood when they come downhill. So those
Earl
are
like
2
5'9"
good guys to consider. But yeah, we can go on all day because it's all subjective and opinionated. And this, that, versus who led the team, plus the Super Bowl. Well, my quarterback, but I can't wait to see it because a lot of our legends
are coming up.
Got to grow because remember, like our legends are just now getting a chance because they were playing as we were growing
so
up.
long.
And then you got to have the 5 years. So
we about to be mad than a mug for about 10 years then because they about to have snub after snub. Imagine being a Drew Pearson fan your whole life growing up.
You right.
Yeah.
All them old heads. We see how they feel now. We're gonna see how they feel. Watch.
I'm not ready,
facts,
bro.
man. That was
If
another
Travis
good
Brady
segment,
don't get in,
y'all.
I'ma cry.
And y'all like, y'all subscribe, y'all tell friends and family. We out.
Get it.
All right.